And you're watching a replay of PCD group therapy session number 3. My name is Melanie and I'm your host, and just bear with me for a couple of moments while some of our audience enters the room for our live event. Hi, Jules. Yay! Hello, people. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Please feel free in the chat to let us know your name and from where you are joining. Hi, Megs. Hi, Chloe. Cakes, that's not your real name. Sorry. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Emmy. Hi, Sarah. Sarah, you just joined us. You're just joining in from another chat on TikTok. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Margaret. All right. Hi, Christina. All right, just gonna give people like one more minute to join us, and then I'll do a little introduction and then get this thing running. Yes, what's up, everyone? Welcome to an awesome, fun, lighthearted hour of fun people. Agreed. Houston, North Carolina. Please, again, if you want to, drop in your name in the chat as well as where you are coming from. Oh boy, just 77 people. Woohoo! We've got Austin, Texas. Hey, I think I can join after I eat dinner, if that's okay. Yes, please, go have your dinner and come back. I'm going to post this afterwards, so if you're not able to watch live, you can watch a replay. That's cool. Thanks, Taylor. All right, I'm going to get started. Welcome, everyone, to PCD group therapy session number 3. My name is Melanie. I'm going to be your host today. I'm going solo tonight, so let's see how this goes. Cross your fingers for me. I've got all of my questions written out. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. You know, I'm just trying to be the queen of preparedness here. In case you don't know what PCD stands for, at least in our little world, it stands for post-cruise depression. What cruise are we talking about? We're talking about the New Kids on the Block cruise. And the most recent one happened just a few weeks ago. And that was actually their 11th cruise. And PCD can also stand for post-concert depression. So, you know, we're a few weeks removed from our last cruise. We're all up in our feels. And we thought, you know, myself and my friend Ashley, we thought, let's just host a couple of lives and get together and reminisce about the cruise and talk to different blockheads about some of their memories from the most recent cruise, some other cruises that they've also been on, because we know, like we learned from Megs last week, that there are a number of people out there who've been on a lot of cruises and some who are brand new as well. I have been on 3 cruises, and I'm going to try to find my first guest. Just bear with me while I find her. Okay. I think she was the first person that entered the room. There she is. Let's see. Come on, girl. You got this. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. I see your room. There you are. Hi,
Here.
Hi, everyone. This is Jules. Jules, say hello to everyone.
Howdy.
Jules, where are you coming from? Where are you joining us from?
I am in North Carolina.
North Carolina. And how many cruises have you been on?
This was my first.
Ooh, so a former cruise virgin. Virgin no more. Yay,
Yeah.
we love that. Okay, now tell me, how did you end up on the boat?
So I went to my first concert, New Kids concert in July. And I saw a promo for it, and I thought, man, that would be so cool to get to do that. Never, ever actually thought I would be on the cruise. And I, of course, got online and found a cruise group on Facebook and just started researching and looking. And I ended up finding a lady that had a spot for sale, and I tormented my husband and was like, can I go, can I go, can I go, can I go? And finally he's like, I don't care, figure out how to pay for it. And so
So from the time that you saw that the spot was available, like how long did you think about it before you spoke to your husband? And then how long did he have to kind of think about it before you guys decided to just go for it?
So it was a couple of weeks. We talked about it, and
Yeah.
of course there were other people trying to get the same spot, and the lady was
Right.
like, first come, first serve. So I wanted to hurry up and get on it. So a
Yeah.
couple of weeks, and the ladies that she was cruising, rooming with, I met with them a couple of times on FaceTime or whatever. And, we clicked. And so.
'Cause you would be rooming with them, right?
Yeah.
Since you were taking her spot? Okay.
Yeah. And
So
so.
you had some FaceTimes, you got to know them ahead of time to make sure that it was a good fit?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were from Arizona. So, I think I FaceTimed with them like 3 times in all or 4. And I'd never been on an airplane, never been out of state,
Well,
it was
you've
all
been out
new.
of state before, right? But you were just driven, right?
Yeah. I had been out of state, but never had been on an airplane and never been on a cruise or anything like that. So it was a lot of new.
It was a lot of new. So is there anyone else in the chat who has been on one cruise, who was a cruise virgin, or has maybe, let us know if you've never been on a cruise. We want to see. So, the question that I ask everyone is, what was your legendary cruise moment?
So, probably the night of the concert. The first night, the night of the game show.
Yep.
We went to our seats, and there was a lady that was there that didn't have a seat or something. She ended up being seasick and couldn't stay for.
That was the first night?
Yeah, well, the night of the game show, the first night.
Oh, it was rocky that night.
Oh, yeah.
It was tough.
And so she couldn't stay, but she and I had the same seat on our bracelets, the same seat assignment. And so I knew as we were getting seated, there was some confusion, and everybody was trying to like slide down a seat and figure out why. We were on the very last row in the theater. It was HH.
Right. So you're like up in the balcony, and they set up like a row of like chairs behind the last row, right?
Yeah.
I think I've sat there before.
Which of course I'm just grateful to be on the boat.
Of course,
but, and there was a pole right in front of us, and it was just like, but for whatever reason, there was a misprint or something. We were, it was not a great seat.
You were assigned the same seat to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she ended up, we were trying to slide down a seat and couldn't get, whatever. Well, she ended up just going back to her room because she was so sick. So it worked out. Well, so the next night, my roomies went. I was a little bit late, and they went on, and I was like, I'll catch up with you. Well, I got into there for the concert, and when I got up to my seat, they were like, this lady's in your seat. I don't know what, and I'm like, well, okay. So, so I went back down to the door and told the guy, I'm like, there's a lady in my seat. I don't know, we have the same assignment, a seat assignment or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, just hang out here a minute. So I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and ended up Marlene, Jordan and John's mom walked by, and I was just like, I chatted with her for a minute, and I was like, okay, well, the doors are getting ready to close, and I'm like, I'm not going to see I'm going to miss it,
Mm-hmm.
Finally, he looks at me, and he's like, come with me, and I'm like, okay. So he takes me right down to the front row of the concert. And I was like, oh my God, And
So
I'm like,
the one concert that you attended in the summer, were you sitting front row? Yeah.
No. So I had never been to a New Kids concert. I was like a middle chick, and a friend of mine, my BFFs, was like, you want to go see New Kids? And I was like, of course.
Did you say you were a metal chick? Chick? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said
well, I mean, I've been to Metallica and AC/DC and all those, but of course I was a Blockhead from way back, but I hadn't, when they did the comeback, I was raising babies and changing diapers, and I saw them on the Today Show when they did the, and I was like, oh, New Kids, and then it was like, oh, I got to be a mama. I didn't, it was a different season of life, so I couldn't, and so
So you're in the theater, and then somebody brings you down to front row. You went from the last row to the first row.
Yes, and I could not believe it. And so, but also in the summer, I actually ended up going to 2 concerts because it was so good. It was the most fun I'd ever had at a concert in my life.
Yeah.
And I told my best friend, I'm like, we have to go again. So the second time, we basically ended up front row, but it was like a side section.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we were at the very corner of the stage. So it was as close as you could get without having front row, I
And
guess.
without being on the floor,
Right.
right? You
Yeah.
were on the side. Right.
And so that was awesome. And that's when I decided, like, oh, this is as good as it gets unless I'm on the floor or on the boat. And so,
And
but
little
yeah,
did you know.
yeah, yeah. So then, they took me to front row and it was amazing. It was so, like, I was in front of the speakers, but it was front row, so there was a bit of a block there, and, by the
And that
speakers.
stage is low, right? Like, I
Yeah.
guess the difference between the typical concert in an arena is the stage is a lot higher,
Yeah.
whereas in the
Yeah.
cruise it's a lot lower.
Yeah.
So you're even closer.
So
And
I was blown away.
and you've been warned, right? People have told you, like, once you go front row, you're
Yeah.
hard
Oh
to
yeah.
go back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to start budgeting for bar stools
That's the next
year.
step.
Yeah,
It's, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to have to warn my husband. That's next. That's next. Yeah.
So okay, was there anything about the cruise that you were really surprised by?
Well, so a little bit. My best friend had kept telling me, I was telling her, she wasn't sure about doing a meet and greet. She's like, what if it's not what you expect? What if they're different,
Yeah.
What if they're not what they've lived up to their whole life? What if they're not as nice, or what if and it was different. I was surprised by how different it really was, because you go your whole life, just, oh my gosh, new kids, but it was different. And it was like, you expect them to be these sexy, whatever. And you
We
come
know,
away.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you come away from it and it's different. It's like you spent 4 days with your big brothers,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's really
So you
different.
don't
Like,
see any of them as sexy. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
oh, well, that is not what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay,
Um,
okay. So which
but
one don't you see as your brother? So which one's your favorite?
so oh, it's so hard. I'm not using any signals and I'm swerving every
Oh,
lane.
okay.
Okay.
That's, it happens. It happens.
So
You were
I
about to
started.
say Joe.
So
Okay.
I started in childhood. I was a Jordan, tried and true Jordan.
Yeah.
But then it was Joey. I started the summer as a Joey girl, and it's so damn hard. Joey girl, Jordan girl, Donnie. How can you not love Donnie?
Yeah, I suspect you're gonna end the year a Danny girl at the rate you're going.
Listen, I have a new appreciation for Danny.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
on the cruise, he was so nice, and in the meet and greet, he was so nice. Like, he did a selfie, out on the boat on Lido,
Yep.
and he
Yep.
was like trying to, like, we had a shadow, and he was like trying to find every angle
Find the
possible.
best light.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's no, because he's a busy guy, but he really took time, and I'm like,
But
it's really okay.
he knows how important it is to you, right?
Yeah,
And I love that they'll,
yeah,
find the right angle at the right lighting. It's,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
was really impressed by that, and I'm like, really, Danny, it's okay, I was really touched by that, because I thought he didn't have to do that, it's a, but it was nice. And then, like, he went around and made around, and I was dancing, doing my thing, and I bumped into somebody a few minutes later, and I was like, oh shit, sorry. And I turned around and it was him. And I was like, he was just chilling, doing his thing. And I was like, oh, okay, so I
Like
have
a
a picture
big
of it.
brother, right?
Yeah, yeah. But no, I guess I was surprised by the way that it really was. Of course, they're hot, sexy new kids, but I don't know. There was just a closeness there that I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're new kids, but it was just, I don't know. It just felt different. I didn't expect them to be such real people,
They
after
are
spending,
real.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're
enjoyed
real
that. Like,
people. Yeah, it definitely, the time on the boat and that meet and greet, and when you run into them, like during the Lido deck when they're taking pictures, that all
yeah,
like humanizes them, and it makes,
yeah,
yeah, future interactions a little bit easier. I know I still get
yeah,
like butterflies and like like
yeah.
clammy palms ahead of
But
meeting them, but
it
especially,
goes,
Danny's always when you're in the photo. When you're doing like the photo op, he's always at first person, and he always is so good at like kind of calming your nerves and
Yeah.
preparing you for what's to come. So I really appreciate that. Yeah.
It was different. I just didn't expect them to be so, like, you expect to chase them around the boat the whole time and want to just
Right.
picture. But it wasn't like, it was, of course, you get excited, but,
Well, you don't have
it
the
was like,
energy to do that after staying up all night.
yeah, I surprised myself. I was worried, but I did it, and I was proud
You
of
did it,
me.
yeah. You know
Yeah,
what? It's now, or I don't want to say never, but it's now or a year from now, right? So you
yeah,
got to do it. You got to
yeah,
just suck it up as best as possible, you know?
yeah.
So, okay. So what practical tip or tips do you have for a first-time cruiser?
Okay, so shoes, comfortable shoes,
Comfortable shoes. Okay.
um, and relax because you will see them. You will get a picture. You
Yeah.
will get interaction with them. Um, so like the Beach Olympics,
Yeah.
go play in the water. You know
Right.
it's
Did you
it's crowded.
did you do an excursion on the beach? I feel like I saw pictures of you
Yeah,
doing
I
something.
did.
What did
We did a tour the first day. I'm sorry,
Okay.
the first thing in the morning on Saturday. We did
Okay.
a tour, and then I did stingrays, which I missed
Oh.
rat tail. I was late and
Oh.
missed rat tail. Thank goodness for YouTube because I caught it.
Oh, you
But
missed the rat chat?
yeah, rat chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
But I did do stingrays. We swam with stingrays and stuff, so which was cool. But
Yeah,
like, the beach thing is so crowded and it's so hot, it's nice, but unless they're up higher or something, go play in the water and enjoy the day because,
yeah, and unless you have like the front row in that like circle,
yeah,
my friends and I, we didn't have that, and we stood around for a while, and it was like we can't see anything, and
yeah. And I mean, even my first cruise, unless it's your first and you just have to be right there.
Mhm.
But even though it was my first, I still wished I had just laid back and just played in the water more and
Right.
had another drink and you know, you know,
And there you go. I don't know about you, but it's snowing where I'm at, and I wish I like soaked in the beach and the sun
yeah,
a little bit
yeah,
more. Is it
yeah.
snowing where you are?
It's not snowing, but it
It's
feels
just,
like it could.
but
Yeah,
it feels like it could.
yeah,
So, um, okay, so this trip, was this your first time also traveling? Oh, you
yeah,
were traveling alone, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm from like the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. It's very small. There's like four stoplights in the whole town. We don't get out a lot, and so you know, it was a culture shock, and but I was like, I'm gonna do it. I wanted to go, and nobody around could really go afford it or whatever, and
Yeah.
so it was like now or never. I'm gonna do it. My husband's like, just wait till next year, and it's like, what if they don't go? What if something happens? What if you know?
So, so my question for you then is, if there are other people who are in a similar position as you, they might not have a cruise buddy, or they might be kind of putting it off, or maybe I'll do it next year, or just kind of waiting for like the right moment for them. What would you say to them to just convince them to just go for it? Like, you're the perfect example. Like, you went for it. This is your first time on a plane.
Yeah. So
You had a lot of
thankfully.
firsts, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my roommates, which I probably should owe them like a thank you note or something, they probably babysitted more than they should have because Ubers and
This is your first time in an Uber, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they, if thank goodness for them because I could not have done it had I not had, but I did. Flying to Miami alone, my mom thought I had lost my marbles. She's like, "You're crazy," and I'm like, "People travel every day. They
Did
do
you
it
fly
alone every
direct,
day."
or did you have to
Yeah,
connect? Okay,
yeah,
so
no. If
that's good.
that would have been, of course, I was nervous, but
Yeah,
big girl. I'm gonna be a big girl. And
yeah.
so, do it. Just do it. Just
Right.
for lack of better terms, man up and do it. 'Cause
Or woman up and do it, or
yeah,
ram up
yeah,
and do it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because life is short, and quite honestly, a lot of my friends were dying. I don't know, something. There's, you know, times are getting bad, and we're losing people left and right. And I just decided it was time to do something. I've been married, 20 years and had never really done anything for myself. And my kids were like, Mom, you'll love it. Go do it. And they were proud of me. And I was like, I can do this.
You
So
can,
I
and you
wanted to do
did.
it.
You
Yeah.
did. Now, okay, I feel like you might state this, or the answer to this question is, I think in your profile or in your bio, are you going to cruise again?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think in your bio
I
you said,
mean,
when are we cruising again? Right?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
my one regret was that my best friend couldn't go with me.
right.
I will go again, and I will do or die take her with me.
Mm-hmm.
And my stepdaughter, who has recently moved in with me, she might have known 2 songs, but
Mm-hmm.
she's a total blockhead now, and she's gonna go with me. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm,
she's got time to catch up on all the other songs too.
yeah. Oh, she knows them now. Like, I'm gonna take both of them with me if it's possible. I'm gonna get both of them on the boat next year. So
Well, there you go.
it'll be that was the one thing. Of course, I enjoyed going by myself and proving that I could do it and feeling that whatever. But there was a couple of times when it's like, everybody's standing here doing the thing of course, the Blockhead family is great. And I met some awesome people on the boat and but I did feel just a little bit lonely because it's like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so it would be nice to have that, I want them there next time. So,
Yeah, so they can share in the experience with you,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
that's important.
So
Okay, so I'm going to ask this of everyone tonight. What is your dream theme night? I think this, when I put the call out for questions a few days ago, somebody suggested this one. I can't remember what your name is. I'm sorry, but I'll pose this to everyone. So what is your dream theme night on the Lido deck?
so that's hard because
Mm-hmm. They've
there's
done a
so
lot, first of
yeah,
all.
they've done one. And I thought, well, masquerade ball, but I'm pretty sure they've done that.
Yeah.
80s or throwback or whatever should stay
Can't,
permanent.
can't go wrong with 80s. I agree.
Yeah,
Permanent 80s theme night.
yeah. But so like the headbanger type thing, like a leather. I know I can't help it. I can't help it.
Just say
But
it. Just say it.
like a leather and lace type
Yeah.
headbangers ball, something like that. I don't know. Luau. I don't know. There's so much, but I don't know
Wait,
what
you
all
went
of.
from leather and lace to luau.
I don't
You mean
know.
like
I don't
together or?
know.
Okay,
So
okay.
like, yeah.
Somebody
I
said
don't.
50 Shades night. Oh, okay, okay. But wait,
Okay.
okay, so headbangers ball, you mean like
I don't.
giant hair and like mullets, and is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
Well, I don't know
Like
about a mullet,
leather.
but yeah, just like like metal. I don't know. It's so hard. There's so many. Like I would
There's a
like them.
lot.
Yeah, I like the masquerade stuff, but that's done and over. I guess they did that a lot. But
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would like
somebody said metal madness.
yeah, something like that. Or leather and like I say, leather and lace. I think, the leather pants, man.
Okay, anything that requires putting the new kids in leather pants. And you know that
Yes.
Joe, who's your favorite, as we've learned, at least for now, or
Yes.
Johnny, you know that he's going to put like a creative spin on those leather pants,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
that'll be interesting.
The girls that did the slash and the
Oh
axle
yeah,
stuff, something I mean that
they were onto something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and then more leather pants. I'm down with it. So, you know.
Although it's going to be really hot. I get really
So then
like
they take them
overheated.
off.
Eh,
Then they
okay.
take them off. So
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay.
yeah,
One last question for you. Is it Lido or is it Lido?
Lido.
Lido.
Sorry, it's Lido.
It's Lido. Okay, I'm
It's
just gonna
Lido.
check. Does anybody, if anybody has any questions, I should have mentioned this earlier. Please use the question function. It's a little bit easier for me to capture. But if you have any questions for Jules now, before she signs off, please let me know. I'm gonna scroll a little bit. Okay, somebody has asked, just generally, but do you know ahead of time the themes, and so you can bring costumes? So yes, and that is from John. Yeah, they let us know on social media, and I think they send all of the cruisers an email as well too. Maybe like what is it, like a month and a half ahead of time
Yeah. So
around. they let us know the theme so that we can prepare. But one theme is always, so there's 4 themes each cruise. One theme that's consistent is GPS night,
Yeah.
and that means you are encouraged to or invited to dress up representing where you're from. And yeah, and you can bring costumes for the others. Some people participate, like some people go like way, like just like
Go
go
big.
crazy, like
Yeah.
coming up with their costumes. We've got like some really, 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 really creative and talented people in the fandom. And then some people go a little bit more lo-fi, and like maybe they just like wear a t-shirt that says like, this is my GPS outfit, you know? And some people choose to not dress up. It's all good, whatever works for you, right?
So I think comfortable is the way to go. But of course,
Yeah.
I mean, I did notice as a first timer, the more into it you got, it seemed like those were the ones that got to go up on stage more.
Right.
I mean, you know, they got noticed more, and they, you know, just what I saw.
Got it. You know what? Somebody, Sherry, has asked, where are you from? We mentioned it at the top, Sherry. Maybe you hadn't joined, but Jules, do you want to tell us again where you're from?
North Carolina. It's a really small, tiny town in Northwest North Carolina. So
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting, Jules.
thank you very much.
If you guys aren't following Jules already, please go and follow her. And if you happen to be Donnie Wahlberg, go follow her, okay?
Yes, that would be great.
I don't think he's here yet, but
Yeah,
or here at all. I don't know if he's coming, but we'll keep working on that for you, Jules.
that'd be great.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I'm gonna look for our next guest if you want to just kind of X yourself out. And
Okay,
we'll chat later, okay? Thanks
I
so
will
much,
try to do that.
Jules.
Thank you so
Yay.
much. All
Thanks.
right,
Bye.
bye.
Let's see. Next person. Give me a moment here. There you are. Yes, Megs, I agree. Loved hearing your story, Jules. All right. Where are you?
There I
There
am.
you are. All right. In case you don't know, this is Cedric. And Cedric, do you want to let everybody know where you're from and how many cruises you've been on?
For sure. Yeah, I live in Springfield, Ohio, and the last cruise was 7th cruise, my 7th.
Your 7th cruise. Wow. Okay. So, thinking back to the last cruise just a few weeks ago, what was your legendary moment on the boat?
Easily the legendary moment on the boat was I was up on stage, and so I call Donnie my brother, and
Yep.
my son calls Donnie his uncle. And
Yeah.
so
But how old is your son?
he is 18.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. And so Donnie, they start playing More Money, More Problems. And Donnie just looks out in the crowd. He goes, "Nephew, get up here."
Yeah.
And he goes up there and he raps to Biggie's part on the song. And that was just a proud moment for me right there.
Oh, you're like almost passing the torch, almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay,
It
so what
was
I want to know is how did the tradition of you getting up on stage start?
that it's a funny story actually. I mean, because I was dressed up as Prince the first time I went up on stage to to rap to California Love.
Yeah.
And so that was funny. They were getting ready to go to Tupac's part, and then he just saw me in the crowd. And he said, "Do it. You know the song?" I'm like, "Yeah." I went up there and just did it.
And what
California Love
cruise,
song I grew up on. So,
what year was that? Was that 2016 when Amber just mentioned 2016?
yep, 2016. 2016 Purple Night. I was representing Prince.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah,
And sorry, and
and that
what
was the
number
first time.
cruise was that for you?
That was, let's see, I did 2011, then 2014, 2015. So that was the 4th cruise.
Okay. And then have
Yeah.
you've gotten up on stage and done California Love pretty much every cruise since then?
Yeah. So
It's true.
that year, that year I did it on 3 of the nights. And then after that, anytime most of the time, I mean, it's not like I look for it. And so it's
Right.
not something that, I go,
But
I'm
you
going
gotta
to
be ready for it, right? You might
yeah,
get called on. Yeah.
I'm just up there to have fun. And so if he looks at me and he says, get up here, then I'll do it. If it's a song I don't know, I'm not going to go there. I know he came off the stage. He was like, "Do you know Getting Jiggy with It?" And I was like, "No."
But I mean, you could do like the
I know
dance,
I'm not going
right?
there and fake it, but I didn't want to do that.
So then how did this question was again came from someone else when I asked a few days ago for questions, but how would you compare this cruise to the others?
This cruise was different. It had a different feel because there was so much time in between the last cruise.
Right.
And so so I kind of put this cruise in like its own category because after a while, especially since the cruises I was going on was like back to back to back,
Yeah.
you got into a routine and you were expected a lot more. When this cruise happened, we wanted to just get those same feelings back that we were getting on the other ones. And then it was just a lot more emotional because, we've been waiting on this and then it finally came. And now we got to wait for the next one, so.
But you know what? We've waited 4 years. We can hold out for until next year, right?
For sure. I think probably the biggest, difference from the previous cruises, or at least I would say the very first cruise I was on, wasn't that many guys there. In 2020, my first cruise, wasn't that many guys.
Yeah.
2014, it still wasn't a lot of guys there.
Yeah.
But then.
So how did you end up on the cruise? The very first, like, what's your cruise origin story? How did you land on the cruise the first night?
I mean,
I want to know this, especially as a guy.
Yeah, that's pretty funny too. So Erin, everybody knows Erin. That's my girl. She's a huge New Kids on the Block fan, and like that's all she talked about on our first date. And it was just, New Kids on the Block is back, and I don't know, I'm in love. I love New Kids on the Block. I'm a John girl, and so I knew of New Kids, but I didn't know like they were back, and I didn't know a lot of that. And then she told me, she's like, "There's a cruise. I want to do the cruise so bad, but I couldn't get tickets on the last one, so I'm gonna try on the next one." And then I didn't know nothing about cruises at that point, and so the only thing that sold me on it was like, okay, so you get to eat whatever you want, and they don't charge you for it.
Okay, but the ice cream machine.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The ice cream machine, the soft serve. Oh.
Let me tell you, it was GPS night, and my friend Terry, I'm up on stage. It's super hot, and we've been up there dancing, and I'm in that point where I'm like, I'm gonna pass out, but it's okay, I get tapped on my shoulder, and I turn around, and they're giving the 2 ice cream cones for me and Brandon, and I was like,
that
oh my
sounds
God.
like heaven.
Oh my God, Ambrosia, it was perfect. It was like a little oasis right there, and I was like, I could go another night. Like, let's go.
That's all you need. That's all the fuel that you need. Well, you and I were kindred spirits then, because like Jerry said, I'm all about that. I talk about the ice cream way too much on that cruise. But anyways, I'm short. So you landed on the cruise after Erin convinced you. And so what did you think when you got on the boat? Like, what were your expectations and what were you met with? Like the same?
It was. I can tell you, I left the cruise really wanting to do it again.
Right.
Right. And I didn't, I wasn't worried about you because, it's a guy going on a cruise, it's a bunch of girls, New Kids on the Block, some people feel a little sensitive about that. I didn't really care. I like NSYNC, so and so when I got on the boat, I didn't know what to expect from the New Kids, right?
So had you seen them in concert? Had you seen New Kids in concert?
No, at that point, no.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
The concert on that cruise was the first time I ever seen them like perform like.
Wow. Okay.
And so, even then, I think because Donnie was always awesome, but even then, Donnie was still a little different because they were still a little separated.
Okay.
And so, as he's walking through the crowd, I think it was the night where they were playing Blue Bloods. It was like the season finale of Blue Bloods. They played it on the boat that year. And he was walking around, and he was just meeting people, taking pictures, and it was just that was my first time seeing him like in person. Then I was like just a little bit starstruck a little bit. I didn't get a
Right.
picture with him. Aaron got a picture with him. No, I took the pictures.
Were you a little bitter about that?
No. I was fine. That was fine. I just didn't know. I was like, oh my God, you know. It was still at that point where it was like, oh my God, Danny just walked past me, you know?
You gotta let it take it. You gotta take it in first, and then and then you can be cool.
Yeah. So it was a little different, you know. But after we got off the boat that year, I was like, we got to go back, and we couldn't go back until about a couple years after, but we had to go back after that.
So okay, speaking of the male fandom, there's there's a group of you. I want to say you call yourself the Blockhead Bros. Is that it?
Block Bros. Yeah, that's
tell us about that. What is that?
Well, okay, that's you know, you got K-Dub, you got Kevin, Caleb, Brandon. It's, you know, really, I mean, to me, when I think of like just Block Bros, I think about just a camaraderie of all the guys who actually enjoy this cruise, and I don't want to say for the right reasons, because I mean, if you're there, you know, there's always that fear that some guys might not be there for the right reason, you know.
For sure.
But I don't personally see that, but I just think it's a way to just, you know, I mean, we're the guys.
Yeah.
You know?
And like leading up to the cruise, you guys got to offer up your cruise tips, right? And that was shared on
that was
the
awesome.
official account, on the official New Kids on the Block account, which was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and Dan. I don't want to forget Dan. Dan and Jonah, they're my boys too. Yeah.
Okay, we can't forget Dan.
Yeah, no. Dan was awesome. I'm telling you, his Chucky outfit that he had was one of the highlights for me to see that.
Yeah. There were a few really frightening Chuckies walking around that night on Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm traumatized for sure.
Yeah. It was. I always love the Halloween nights because I never know what people are going to do. But I can tell you, like, just when I used, like, the earlier cruises, I didn't really do the themes.
Yeah.
Just because I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I was too cool.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I felt like I was too cool. I'm not going to do the themes. You know, these people show up. You know, they're all dressed up. I wear my T-shirt, you know. And then I think 2015 was the first time I like really, like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear this. I dressed up like it was like 80s prom night, and I had like the curly Jerry curl wig, and I dressed up like a blue like little tuxedo, and that was the first time I was like, okay, this could be cool to do. And then every year I at least did one outfit that was kind of out there, you know. But
so a question that I asked last week, and then I want to ask you is, so how do you talk about the cruise to your non-Blockhead friends or family back home? Like, how do you, or what's their reaction?
I think at this point they kind of, you know, it's different because where I'm from, people don't do stuff like this.
Okay.
You know, they don't go on cruises. They don't go to the beach. They don't go on vacations like that. And so when I talk about it, it's almost like a whole different world. And so they're like, really? You do that? Are they on the boat with you? You know?
Oh, yeah. I love it when I tell somebody about the cruise and they're like, oh, so they're on the boat. Like, no, I'm on the boat to just like sit around and talk about the New Kids all day, right?
Yeah. And so when they when I tell them about it and then I show them pictures, and they were like, wait, you were on stage too? Like, oh my God. And so it's gotten a lot easier to talk about it. I think in the beginning they used to, you know, kind of make fun of it. But then, and they'll also in the same sentence be like, I wish I could go on a vacation, you know?
Right? Yeah.
So that's just where we're from. That's how people are. But, you know, at a certain point, I mean, because of course people are gonna make their jokes like, oh, you're going to see the New Kids. But after that, it was just like, man, that's awesome. You know, like, you should go. Then it's always, I'm afraid of the water. You know, it's like I don't know what to do.
In the water.
So you just gotta go. You know. But it is. It's always fun.
So then what would you say to other maybe partners out here whose significant other is trying to convince them to go on the boat? because you were kind of in that position before where you were like, well, you knew of new kids, a little reluctant. What would you say that will kind of like, you know, push them over the edge, given your experience?
Well, okay, given my experience, I mean, first it would be the woman or the significant other who really wants to go. They have to be comfortable with them going first. Because a lot of times it's like it's my vacation, you know, and so I never want to do that to where make it seem like, well, you have to bring your man, you know. No, you don't. If you want to have a girl vacation, have a girl vacation. But if the guy wants to go, I mean, the best thing I do is like, there's other guys there. You know, there's other guys there.
You're going to be there. You're going to be there, right? Next year and every other cruise. So, you know, you know at least one guy.
There's guys there. You go there like me, like I'm a Dolphin fan. I always rep my Dolphins. And so every Sunday, like if the Dolphins is playing, I'm in that sports bar watching the game, you know. And even GPS night, there was a guy from Miami. I cannot remember his name to save my life. But he's a Miami Dolphin fan as well. He was on a stage. He had the Miami Dolphin jersey on, and he did the dance to Uncle Luke. You know, I left to go to the Lido Deck party at halftime. He stayed to watch the rest of the game, and he comes up on stage, and I'm like, "Did we win? Like, did we win?" And he goes, "Yeah, we won." And so we're up on stage celebrating the Dolphins winning. And so it's more than just you know the new kids. Of course, they're there. There's women there, of course. And there's a lot of the new kids do a lot of things where guys might be like, you know. But it's.
Wait, were you there for D-Dub's background?
I did not go to the back row. I did not go to the back row. That year, the back row was at the same time as Jordan's yoga. And I went to Jordan's yoga. I wasn't planning on doing I didn't know what, you know, it was the first time around the band. I didn't know what to say. I went there. There was nobody doing yoga. It was just Jordan up there.
Okay, in the chat, let us know. If you had to pick between Jordan doing yoga or Donnie's D-Dub back rub, which would you choose? Let us know. I'm dying to know. Okay, sorry, I was just checking out the questions, and Cedric, maybe you can help me answer these. Okay.
Sure.
Did Joey do duets? Oh, wait, have you ever done a duet with Joey?
Yes, I have. In 2015, I was picked, you know, because you got to audition to do it.
Yeah.
And Joe he said his wife picked The Girl Is Mine for us to do. He was like, she said, we have to do this song.
Oh, okay.
And so we did The Girl Is Mine on the boat. That was the third year that they had did duets. And that was the last year they did duets. And I wish you bring it back. It was fun. I can tell you, it is a lot to go into it. So it is a big ask of him to do the duets, because not only does he have to do the new kids, prep for the shows and the Lido Deck and stuff like that, then you also have to fit in rehearsals with the people that are going to do the duets with you, because you don't want to go up there and do like a bad show. Of course. And so it's easier for Joe to just do a Joe show, because he's just relying on himself, and he's the professional, and he's that, rather than doing the duets. So I'm not trying to talk him out of doing it. I think he should do it, because I think it's awesome, and I liked watching it. And so I would love to have duets come back. And,
so if you had if you were doing another duet with Joe, what would you sing with him?
If I did another duet with Joe, oh my God, if I would sing, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. We will have to come up with something.
You can think about it and maybe put it in the chat later, or else let me know. Okay, what is your dream theme?
My dream theme is the theme that I haven't seen them do. It's just a rock star theme. And I know the last person mentioned it, but the rock star theme, I think that'd be awesome. I'll go there. I'll go all in on the rock star theme. I don't care. That'll be awesome. And they play rock music on the Lido Deck most of the time anyway. And so,
sorry, what did you say?
They play rock music all the time on the Lido Deck anyway.
They don't play enough though.
I mean, with a rock night, they would, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, go break it out. That'll be awesome.
All right. Now, is it Lido or Lido?
It's Lido. It's Lido. I don't know where you get that from, that Lido deck. No, it's Lido. Come
Does
on.
anybody else have any other questions for Cedric? I saw somebody had asked earlier, just like a broad, general question about the cruise. Is it true that there are events like around the clock?
I wouldn't say around the clock, no. But there's this year. Oh, I pray for
Because he was
that.
referencing hearing people saying how they don't sleep. That's what the
Oh,
commenter was saying.
no. Even with the events that you did have, there's not much sleeping. There's not much
Because
sleeping.
I think it was John again who'd asked that. Like, there's the Lido deck party that happens on the Lido deck, and that can start anywhere between like what 11 and like 12.
About 11 up to 12 to about 11 to like 1, and then it gets later and later as the nights go.
Yeah, and then some people stay up beyond that, but some people like if you want to go to sleep, you don't have to participate in any of these things, right? Or if you want to go to sleep halfway through, then you can. It's all up to you. Yeah, you're not required of anything.
Yeah, I'm just the type of person I'm telling you, at home I don't do much. I don't go out. I don't go to parties. I don't do none of that.
You're storing energy. You're storing energy for the cruise, right?
Exactly. And then when I go there, I feel like on the cruise, I'll be like a different person. I'm out till as late as possible. Right. I don't want to miss out on anything really, and except for this year, I was like that second night at Half on K, I'm going to sleep. So
on the beach. On the beach.
Yeah. Oh no! I went to sleep in my cabin. I was not going to leave the boat. Yeah, I stayed on the boat with this.
The second day. Yeah, I never made it to the beach on the second day. I slept.
Oh yeah.
Walked around. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. Somebody wanted to go and do that, but I needed that time, especially if I was going to tackle GPS night and tackle the rest of the cruise. I just needed to get that in. Hey, it's been 4 years since the last one. We're a little out of practice, and so. That's
true. We're 4 years older as well, and we can't.
Yeah,
aging is a thing. Sorry, my dog's like freaking out over here.
Oh no, it's all good.
All right. Well, Cedric, thank you so much for chatting with me.
No problem.
I so appreciate it. If you think up of the song that you would do your duet with Joe, just drop it into the chat, or again, like just
will do. Will do.
All right.
Take it easy. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up, just give me a second while I bring up my next person. Where are you? Oh, I'm spelling your name wrong. There you are. All right. Hello.
Okay, let's see okay, there we are.
There she is.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. This is Margaret.
Hi, everybody.
Everyone. Margaret, do you want to let everyone know where you're from and how many cruises you've been on?
So I'm from Montreal, and I just did my first cruise.
Another, previously, you were a cruise virgin. No longer, though.
No longer, no. It's, I got it done, and I have to say, honestly, it was really such a great experience. I don't have words. Like, it's so hard to explain to people how good an experience it was.
Yeah. So can you tell us what brought you on the boat?
So
how did you end up on the boat?
So
I'm sorry, I can't share pictures now. I think it's only when I'm by myself that I can share pictures.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. So I don't know how many people know this, but I have a sister. She passed away in March, and my sister was one of the ultimate blockheads. I don't want to say the ultimate blockhead because there's a lot of them, but one of them. And she would go on the cruises. She was always so happy to go on the cruises and go to concerts and go to the Blue Blood set. And when she got sick at the beginning of COVID. And the one thing she did manage to do was get to Fenway. And then when she went to Fenway, her cancer had returned. And that was the last event that she got to do.
Yeah.
So I was presented an opportunity to go on the cruise. And I spent some time thinking about it because it's been hard for me without my sister. I really miss her.
Yeah.
And, I really felt like I should just see her making a complete mess, packing, repacking, picking out, her theme night outfits and the makeup and I mean, like, it would really look like a hurricane passed through just with the prep. So it was.
I think that sounds about right for
everyone.
for
I think
packaging
everyone
pictures,
can relate. So it was, it was hard for me to, like to make a decision about going. And even once I took a decision to go, and I shared a room with two really lovely girls, Lindsay and Lisa from Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still kind of hesitating and having trouble packing. Like, I would send pictures to my friends and say, this is what's in my suitcase, just coffee crisp. Just a bunch of chocolate. That was it, because I knew that my sister would bring tons of coffee crisp. So I ordered a bunch from Amazon, and that's it that was in my suitcase until like a couple of days before. And I'm usually the person who packs like a week ahead, stuff at the door. So that's what led me to go to the cruise.
I'm not sure. Did you mention your sister's name? Can you
So my
tell
sister's
everybody?
Twitter, I don't think I mentioned it.
Yeah.
I call her Mimi. That's what we call her within the family. On Twitter, I'm sure anyone who knows her, she's known as Yikes, Yikes 77.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how she got that name, but I know her email address was that before she had Twitter, so it's always been Yikes. So, yeah, I miss her a lot.
I think we all do. And I see that as you were talking, Donnie jumped in, and a lot of people were expressing their love for Maria and their memories of her as well, too. Now,
Well, that's the whole thing about the cruise that was nice for me, because I had so many people like come and share memories of my sister, really lovely stories, and even people like before the cruise, after the cruise, sending me messages about like one girl had fainted on the beach, and my sister went and spent the time to stay with her. And, all kinds of things around the boat, or things around like trips where people would just bunk up with my sister, or my sister gave them coffee crisp and stuff like that. So there was a lot of really, really, really lovely moments. So I can't say that there was the one big standout moment was when Donnie talked about my sister on stage.
Yep.
Like the ultimate big standout moment. But there are so many other moments that mean so much to me. So many moments. I can't even tell you. Like, there were so many things that happened, and so many lovely people who just came and took that minute to talk to me. And I'd see people in lines, and they'd stop and tell me. Like, I think it was a really, really nice way for me to celebrate my sister.
Yeah. And I think you had mentioned you had another way that you were celebrating your sister on the cruise, right? You had like
oh yes. So last night I had a bottle of champagne. So I had dinner with some friends, and we didn't, none of us drank very much. So we walked around the boat offering champagne to people, like telling them, hey, do you want to have a shot for my sister? Mm-hmm. So it was really nice that we got to walk around, like we're just walking around the boat with a bottle of champagne, pouring
I
little
feel like
shots.
You probably needed a couple bottles though.
You know what, we should have. And I think, and that's what I'm going to do next time. The next time, because we're only allowed to carry on one bottle. Okay. Per person.
Listen,
but what
I'll bring one. I'll bring one. You can have mine for sure.
Well, I'll buy it and just hand it to you, and you can stick it in your carry-on.
Yeah.
But actually, I learned that when you have a drink package, you get a bottle for 25% off if you buy it in the gift shop.
Okay, good to know.
So,
there's a cruise tip for all you.
So anyone who does have a package, you can buy a bottle in the shop 25% off. I don't know what the prices actually are compared to like outside the boat, but on the boat, 25% off.
And then you had mentioned that you were playing like first timer bingo or something?
Yeah,
bingo card?
Yeah, so I had told you about this when we had lunch the other day. So I was in Toronto, and I met up with Melanie and Megs. So, because my sister was a veteran, a pro, there's a lot of different words we could use to describe her, an OG.
Yeah.
I decided that I should have a bingo card as a first timer. And I had things like, I went on Facebook and I said, I'm building myself a bingo card. What kind of stuff should I have on there? So I was told that spotting John at the coffee bar would be one square. I did not see him at the coffee. I didn't see him at the coffee bar.
Did anybody see John at the coffee bar? Let us know.
Yeah, let me know, because there was Joe sighting in his underwear.
Oh, did that happen?
I didn't see that either.
Did anybody see Joe in his underwear? Let us know.
Get a selfie with each of the 5 guys.
Yeah.
That I got.
Good job.
So I got one of each of them. Get a picture of Frank. I did not meet Frank, so I didn't get a picture with him. And then I made myself a square, which was get a picture of Victor, who wasn't on the boat.
Oh, no.
And I met Victor actually at a Jordan Knight concert in Montreal. And this is the first time I had like some kind of inkling that my sister had fans out on the internet.
Sorry, say
These
that
two
again.
girls ran up to me. It's that Jordan Knight concert is the first time that I was out with my sister, and some girls came up to me and they thought I was Yikes.
Oh.
And I knew that was her email address, right? But I was like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "You're Yikes," and I'm like, look, like I really didn't know what they were talking about. And then my sister comes up and they're like, "Oh my God, you're Yikes!" And then they're like, "How come?" And she's like, "Yeah, she doesn't know." Like.
She's a celeb basically with it, and I feel like she had built this incredible YouTube channel. Like, it's the spot to go for like vintage New Kids clips of them on various shows and performances. So yeah, she has
a lot of content up there. She really enjoyed it, and I would just be amazed watching her because she could hold that camera still and do that. And I mean, I can't do that. I don't have that arm strength to do it for like as long as she can. Like I tried during like the game show, in 6 minutes. I mean, my arms are burning. So it's really impressive. Anyone who hasn't had to do it.
Yeah, because she would also like film like concerts, like the entire concert, and share it with other blockheads who couldn't be there, which
she loved doing it.
Yeah,
she loved doing it. And I mean, I would just be amazed because like she could really hold the camera for the longest time. And
it's a skill. It's a gift. It's a gift.
It's skill and a gift, because you need that strength to be able to do it, right?
Yeah.
And then know where to be at the right time. So
okay, was there anything that Maria used to tell you about the cruise and you were like, no way, oh come on, like you didn't believe it?
The Lido deck.
And then once you
the Lido deck. She would tell me that people would camp out on the Lido deck, and I was like, it's so hot, like how are people going to do that? So I was really amazed that people really find their spot and they're ready to party at the spot that they've picked out. It's really dedication that people can do it because it's so hot. Like,
yeah, I hear you. And then sometimes it starts to rain, and then you get a whole range of weather sometimes on the boat. And if you're camping out, it just makes the experience more.
I had my hair straightened the first night, and then after that I went swimming, so I wasn't worried about the rain. And I had a raincoat, but night 1 my hair was straight, and then, when we got to Half Moon Cay, went for a swim, my hair went back to being super curly, and then that was it.
Well, I love your curly hair. I love it. I can't envision you with straight hair. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture to see, because it's actually funny. My passport picture, I don't have glasses and my hair is straight. So when I come back from vacations with my hair all, everywhere and the glasses, and they're looking and they're like when they do the picture of, you scan your passport and then you have to take the picture at the machine. Yeah. It doesn't match. So I always have to go up, and they're sitting there like, take off your glasses, and I'll take them off. They're like, oh yeah, okay.
Now, what is your dream theme night?
Oh, you know what? I think there's a lot of ones that I'm sure that have been done.
You can do them again. It's all good. It's all newish to you.
Masquerade night. I like the
Okay.
idea of the rock star, like, rock star night.
Yeah. Party like a rock
Um,
star. That's another title. That's another name.
oh,
Okay.
that's party. Yeah, that is good,
Yeah.
huh? And
Hmm.
by the way, like one of the other moments is when I had, I didn't watch videos of the cruise. I just watched other content and stuff just to, learn about people a little bit. And the person I met on the boat that made me completely fangirl is Cedric.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
oh my God, it's Cedric. You must have thought it was nuts.
So you saw all the clips of him on stage, and then you had your
No, I'm not even on
your
stage.
fangirl
I
moment.
saw the Block Boys videos, the ones with Kevin.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that I was just like, oh my God, it's Cedric. Like when I saw him.
So okay, so on the cruise, was this your first time meeting new kids, or had you met them before?
I have well, I did go to a concert in Boston. I had planned to
Right.
go to
Okay.
the Toronto one, but it was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting to go to Boston, and I ended up getting a huge hug from Donnie, which was really, really nice.
Yeah.
Everyone that says that John's the world's best hugger, I would say him and Donnie are tied.
Right. Right.
They're totally tied. They both give really big, meaningful hugs. So they're both really great.
Maybe they can have a competition, and you and I can be the judge. How's that? We'll just kind of go between
I'm
the two
good
of
with
them.
that, but I mean, like honestly, because Donnie was so sweet with my sister
Yep.
as she was sick and everything like that, that he is my standout favorite. I completely adore him. I think he is one of the most genuine and kindest human beings I've ever encountered. He really is. I don't have anything else that I could possibly. I have so much trouble expressing how much I admire and respect and really would do anything he needed.
I agree with you, and I have tried to express that myself on a couple of my Instagram posts, and it's tough. It's tough to put that into words, and even like last week when he joined in our chat for what was supposed to be 10 minutes and led to 1 hour, right? It's just scratching the surface on how amazing Donnie is. I don't know if he's still here, if he's here, or if his ears are ringing, but we're talking about you, Donnie. Now, listen, if anybody has any questions for Margaret, please if you can like drop them into the chat feature, that would be great. It's a lot easier to see. But in the meantime, are you going to cruise again?
You know what? I am totally going to do it again.
Well,
I
first you
think
have
that
to
it
finish
was.
off that bingo card. You have to see Joe in his underwear, right?
I know that's the thing. I'm gonna have to make like version 2 or second time cruisers bingo card and then add stuff that didn't happen. And then I'll share the 2 bingo cards with people whenever we're doing this. But I mean, I really I would tell someone who's thinking about it because you have a friend who, if you're in a situation like me that you have a loved one that loves the New Kids on the Block and you know that they've got friends going on the boat, go. Do
Right.
it. And my sister would always tell people just buy the ticket, just do it. I saw someone in the chat mention earlier that we don't know, like tomorrow's not for sure, right?
Yep.
So you should, if you're in a position to do it, you should totally go and do it and have fun. I did not expect to dance as much as I did.
Mm-hmm.
I can say from the bottom of my heart, truthfully, that I've been sad for quite a long time with my sister's illness and everything, and it's the first time I was actually really, really happy.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of my sister and celebrating her goofiness and her wackiness and her level of fun. And I really danced all night. I mean, gosh, I haven't done that in I don't know how long. but but it was really just such a great experience that I know a lot of people talk about having PCD,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't had that because I've been just so happy that I got to celebrate my sister this way.
I think it was after our last live that somebody, and it might have been Rat Tail who came up with the term, but somebody said post-cruise gratitude, which I love.
You know what? Then that's what I have
Yeah.
because it's really not a depression. I have to say that Like I know I
We might
sound like
have to
I'm
change the
repeating
name
myself.
of these lives if we do anymore, right?
Well, how about PCD and PCG?
Right.
Gratitude and
Okay.
depression, because you can, that way you welcome everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm just taking, okay. Somebody just mentioned, Margaret just wanted to share. I unfortunately never met your sister, but through her videos, etc., we had a connection, and thanks to her, I got to meet you too. And this person's screen name is CMI247. I'm sorry, it doesn't show your name.
I'm so bad at this. I'm like, I wasn't
Yeah.
really much on social media, so I'm like still learning people's names and stuff like that. And it was interesting because on the boat, there's people that have been really nice, sending me pictures and checking in with me when my sister was sick, reaching out to me on days that she wasn't feeling great. And so, you're looking at the little picture on Instagram and someone comes and introduces themselves. And because you've chatted, you know the screen name and you know the picture, but you're trying to get that to match up with the person who's live in front of you.
Yeah.
Because most people have really cool pictures, but it takes you a second to realize who they are in person. So I don't know who that is. If they want to message me after, I'd be really happy at that to say hi again. But it was really nice. Just I don't have words to say how nice it was to get to meet people and get hugs from people and tell people how much I really appreciate the love and support that I got from them. It was really I don't know if magical is the right word. The closest word might be magical, but it was really good for me to be able to get to meet people who were so important to my sister.
Yeah, and when you and I met, because we didn't meet on the boat, we
Right.
met in
Yeah.
person a few days ago. We went to Wahlburgers with Megs, and we just got to chat about our lives and like what we do outside of this new kid thing. And I only got to meet your sister just once at Fenway.
Okay.
But like I said, she was, iconic. And I know that, at that, even just for her getting to her and Sandra and Catherine to get to Fenway was such a journey because there was just all this craziness with their flights.
It was
And
like 32 hours.
right, to get from Montreal to Boston. It's not that far, right?
It's an
But
hour flight.
yeah, and they just it was just an epic journey, and we all like all these like Canadians who were making our way to Fenway at the time. We had a group chat going, and to see all the updates and the ways that they rerouted it, I'm thinking to myself, I might have just gone home, but she stuck to it, and
She was actually
just
re-diagnosed the week before.
okay.
So, I mean, I was really nervous. Not that she was going away, but I just wanted it to be smooth and not stressful. And, like I was talking to her and Catherine, like I'm messaging Catherine and Sandra. And I'm like, just keep her fed, try to keep her calm, which I know is not an easy feat. And I had stayed back because, I had to get stuff ready for her to start up again. And I told her I'd go with her next time. So I am really sad I didn't get to go to Fenway with her.
Yeah, but you went to Boston this summer, right?
I did go to Boston this summer, but I'm happy that she had all those moments that made her so happy. And she would come back from her trips and stuff like that, and she looked like she was floating because she was so happy. So.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I'm just going to take another peek at the questions. Okay, let me just take a peek in the chat. If anybody has any other questions for Margaret, please let us know. Sorry, somebody's asked if Donnie can join the chat. I don't know, Donnie, if you want, you can let me know if you want to come on camera. You'll have to add just send a request. Otherwise, I think you're probably quite busy this evening. So I'm not going to put any pressure on you. Oh yeah, so that was a beautiful. Does anybody have any questions in general about cruising that I might be able to answer, or that Margaret might be able to answer as a first-time cruiser?
Actually, I'll tell you a little story while people are writing their questions. I came back and I had told, because I actually switched jobs like maybe a month before the cruise. So I told my new boss, okay, I'm going on a cruise. And I came back, and one of the other managers at my workplace messaged me, and he's like, I heard you went on the New Kids Cruise. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so what's it like? And I'm like, honestly, it's really, really fun. It's more fun than I really expected. Everything good?
Yeah, no, it just froze for a second.
Okay.
So sorry, just go back. So your boss said, I heard you went on the New Kids Cruise.
Well, my boss knew I was going, and he thought it was really cool. Very excited for me because he knew the reason why, like the big motivator for going. Yeah. So another manager contacted me saying, hey, I heard you went. What's it like? I'm like, you should go. He's like, it's full of girls. I'm like, no, there's guys and they have a great time. You should like, you have to do it. And he's like, is my wife going to see Jordan? I'm like, well, there's a meet and greet that happens. So yes, she will get to see Jordan, give him a hug. That very, very likely will happen unless you're delayed by, seasickness or something.
Right.
And then his question was, will Jenny be there? And I said, well, she was not this trip. I've heard that she's made trips. So, I mean, that's, a gamble, but you will have a great time.
So there's a note, Donnie, for if Jenny comes on the cruise, that might attract more dudes.
But it was just because I sent him and my manager my pictures, and then they're like, oh my God, this looks like so much fun. Like they, my manager is a huge Donnie fan. Huge Donnie fan. Loves him in Blue Blood.
Now your manager's probably even a bigger Donnie fan now that you've told him about your experience.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of admiration for him. And my old manager actually also has tons of admiration for Donnie too, because like he was following my sister. My old manager is following my sister on Instagram.
Right.
And on Twitter. Because me and my sister
escapades, yeah.
No, but it's funny because me and my sister didn't work for the same company, but we worked in the same complex at opposite ends. And then at some point I moved into the same building as her. So I was super upset because I was like, people are going to mix us up. I don't want to be in the same building with her because I grew up, we're very close in age. We're 11 and a half months apart.
Right.
So people would never be able to tell us apart. And I was working in IT security, and my sister was doing IT work also, but people would come up to her and have conversations that were kind of confidential, not realizing that she's not me. So it was really just, so my boss was like trying to find out more about my sister, and he's like, oh my God, she's got all these followers and she's got all this interesting stuff. So he was like stalking my sister. And he's like, you don't post anything. You're not very interesting. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Wait, you're not very interesting?
Well, compared to my sister, I was very,
Yeah. She's
very quiet.
And
she has cool content, right? Her content's really cool. So, I mean, I was okay with being told that. I was more upset about being mixed up with my sister. But
yeah. I was so worried, like coming into this. I was like, I'm afraid I'm going to call her Maria by accident. I was so terrified. I had her name written down. I'm like, Margaret, don't call her.
No, but actually, you know what? That part I don't mind because I'm used to being called Maria, that I just turn around and react anyways. And even now, like, every once in a while, like, I'll be walking somewhere and someone thinks I'm my sister. Yeah. So I still turn, and so it's not something that bothers me. And actually, I have to say that I'm really, really, really happy that she's remembered. So even when that happens to me now, it's not something that, it doesn't hurt me. It makes me sad she's not here, but I'm really, really happy she's remembered.
Well, in this community, in the Blockhead community, which is vast, your sister is so well loved and remembered, and we miss her too.
I definitely felt that, and that's another thing that I have to say about the cruise, and the whole experience with the fandom and this whole experience, because it didn't start with when she passed away. It was before, when she went in for surgery, and people were messaging me like, oh, she gave me your number. She said it would be cool if I checked in. And it was really nice that there were so many people that were worried as much as me. Yeah. And it has been really nice because I have not been alone. I'm not the only one who lost a sister.
Right. Yeah.
I really like it's you know what I mean? It's not nice, but it's comforting that I am not the only one who lost her.
Yeah.
A lot of other people lost her, and I can talk to them about it. And we can, people send me pictures of like some night that they're just passed out drunk. But it's my sister.
Is Maria taking care of them?
No, she's passed out drunk with everybody, yeah. But it makes me really happy to see that she had all these moments and it really took advantage of everything and was happy.
Right.
And that's the big thing I have to tell everybody, that if you're wondering, should I? If you're wondering, should I for more than 5 minutes, try it out and go do it. And I'm really sure you will, in respect to going on this cruise, you will not regret it. You will have the best time.
Agreed. I think, everybody tonight, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat would echo that, everybody who's been on a cruise for sure.
But this is for everyone who hasn't been, or who says, you know what, it's so much work to pack and get on a plane and whatever other barriers it is. If you have that opportunity, just do it. You really won't regret it. You're going to be so happy that you did it.
You can start packing now. Start packing now. If you're worried.
The rig I pack, yes, I actually should pack now because I'm like the worst packer. Like I pack like I'm a 3-year-old.
GPS night is happening, and it sounds like we're going to try to make Party Like a Rock Star happen as well. So you have 2 theme nights done.
Well, you know what? I was so excited that I actually went home and wrote like a bunch of ideas for like game shows and a bunch of ideas for the beach. Like I have like this whole list of stuff because I was just so excited about it.
Actually, how was the beach for you?
I did not go to the game because I didn't feel well. I was kind of seasick.
Yeah.
So I made it to the beach and then I just kind of lay there for a while. Mm-hmm. And then I said, okay, I'm going to go swim a little bit because maybe I'll feel better.
Yeah.
It was nice to swim, but I didn't feel better. And then I managed to like tell myself, okay, I've got to get to the boat because if I don't do it now, I'm never making it to the boat. Yeah. So it was, the first day was like, because it was really rocky that first night.
It was.
So yes, bring Dramamine or whatever it is that you need to not be seasick if you're sensitive to it. That's my big cruise tip. And comfy shoes. Don't bother with heels. Don't bother with anything that's slightly uncomfortable.
Don't try to be a hero or a fashionista and finish your cruise look with heels. Yes. I just wear running shoes. Just have black running shoes or sneakers, whatever, tennis shoes, and you're good. Nobody's looking at your feet.
My other cruise tip is don't wear things like sweatpants. I mean, I was so hot the last night. Oh. My sweatpants were like just drenched like within 15 minutes. I had to go like put on shorts. And my sweatpants, I actually had sweatpants that said Montreal on it. And I was just like, never mind. It's I'm just so hot.
When I'm planning Lido Deck outfits, like I know, again, I get like overheated, like hot so fast. My outfits they can't be pants. Like they have to be shorts or like a skirt, and they can't have sleeves. I broke that rule this year with the jacket, but it ended up coming off. But okay, it gets hot in there, and the shoes for sure. I mean, some people, I reminded my friend Cherry of it so many times. She wanted to wear heels. I'm like, nobody's looking at your feet. Nobody's looking at your feet.
No, I mean, I did ask for a lot of advice because I didn't know. So I'm really happy I did not bring heels. I'm very happy that I
commented about heels in the meet and greet. I will admit I did wear heels in the meet and greet, but in the line I was wearing Birkenstocks, and then I changed as we got closer.
Yeah, see, my feet got swollen. So last week there was a question I asked, what's the tip to getting your feet not to swell up? Because I know I was eating super clean, and I actually asked my doctor, and she's like, one of the answers is that some people, it's the salty air that actually can make you swell up. Mm-hmm. It's not because the water on the boat is actually desalinated. They add minerals back in, so it tastes like water to us. But she said it's actually the air we're breathing in, and plus all the standing that a lot of us are not used to doing, and the dancing and the jumping.
Right.
So if I could carry more stuff onto the boat, it would be compression boots.
Compression boots.
If I could do it for sure.
Compression boot? Like The inflatable ones are like socks.
No, I would do socks, but also they have the boots that inflate and then.
Yes. Yeah. I'm all for that. We should, you know what? We should bring those, and then we can start charging people. Or we can just let everyone use them for free. How's that?
I don't know. I feel like it has to be a public service. So if I'm doing it, I'm letting anyone who needs them come by. But I feel like we need to have like a bank of them, like 3 or 4. And then people come and sign and book a 30-minute slot and use them.
Right? I think it was in the first chat a few weeks ago. It was on TikTok. We had talked about the boat needs a recovery lounge. Like if you like run a race, like a 5K or a half marathon or a marathon, at the end, there's usually a recovery lounge, which has the compression boots, RMTs, like foam rollers, yoga mats. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it would really be, or a place where you can just kind of hang upside down.
Yes. Yeah. The inversion board or whatever it's called. Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
No.
But yeah, if I could just bring everything I needed to, it would be compression boots. So I might have to find someone who's in Florida that can easily bring it to the boat, and then I'll carry them on. Okay.
Well, you take one leg, I'll take the other.
That's fine. No, okay. But like my brother actually has the compression boots. They're quite heavy, actually.
Yeah, a friend of mine, one of my neighbors, has a pair too.
Yeah, so they're nice. I mean, I would like to test them out in the cruise setting to see how much they help.
Yeah.
But yes, but those are basic tips that do not bring heels unless it's for your meet and greet picture.
Yeah.
Sunscreen, hydrate.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid of the water on the boat, because I've asked a lot of people, if you really aren't comfortable, drink the bottled stuff.
I'm not sure about drinking the water on the boat. I mean, you consume the ice, but I like to order my bottled water ahead of time and drink that.
I mean, I took the drink package, so you get bottled water, because I wasn't sure, but I had asked a few people, and I asked people who work on the boat, and they explained that the water is desalinated and they add the minerals back. And so, I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's the case, that because I tested the water, I didn't find that there was anything off with it.
Yeah.
But in case you are concerned about it, do your bottled water. Drink a lot of water because you need it.
Electrolytes, I think we talked about that a couple lives ago as well too, like the emergency, like the crystals, that helps.
Yes, yeah, those are good too. Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing I would say is that once you get your drink, it's every 5 minutes you can order a drink if you have a drink package. So order another drink very quickly after, because it's going to take them a while to come back with that drink anyways.
Okay.
So if you know you're super thirsty and you're going to chug that bottle of water, as you're drinking it, order another one right away. Because it's going to take them at least 10, 15 minutes to bring that bottle to you.
Yeah, they have a lot of people that they're serving. There was a question here now. Okay. Can you handle a question that came straight from a celebrity? Are you ready for it? Okay.
Sure.
Mr. Cedric wants to know, being a first-time cruiser, how did you deal with the lack of sleep?
You know what? I don't know, because I'm usually someone who goes to bed kind of early, but I did it. I slept actually more during the day. So, I mean, get to bed at like 6 o'clock in the morning. But I'm not someone who needs 8 hours of sleep. I'm usually good with 3 or 4.
Right.
So by 10 o'clock, I'm back up anyways.
So you've been training for this your whole life, right?
I think actually my dad trained me for this, because my dad worked overseas. So he had his own business and he would be overseas, but I was his tech support. So I'm used to getting calls at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I also worked on call for several years, so I'm used to being paged all the time. Right. So I would say that my life has been about training for this cruise. Oh. My whole life has been about this, because I can really do 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and I can wake up and be like, "Hi, everybody."
So it all came together in this cruise.
Yeah, like there's actually a reason why I've been working on call and having my dad call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and his employees calling me at whatever hour because they're in Bangladesh.
Somebody commented your sister was in your head telling you to stay awake so you don't miss anything, right?
I don't know if I have like a big FOMO personality. Like if I miss it, I miss it.
Okay.
But I do want to make the most of every moment that I do have, and not just on the cruise, but anything else. If I have a moment to, like, when I was in Toronto and
Yeah.
I said, you know what, if you're free, let's meet up.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of me going shopping, I'd rather take the minute and enjoy it and get to know somebody. And I'd like to.
We were there for a good 3 hours, I think. You, me, and
Yeah.
Megs, and
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it was really, really nice. And I really do enjoy getting to know people and talk to them and, reach out and message people. And especially more so with, losing my sister, that I really do feel like I want to make the most of every minute. So, I mean, if I'm tired, I'm tired. But if I'm awake and I can pull on shoes, I'm going to go out and go try to experience things. And I think more so this cruise has made me feel more comfortable about just jumping in and,
and just
trying.
just going for it. Yeah. Okay, I have one last question then for you.
Sure.
Is it Lido or Lido?
I'm so torn because I looked and they do say Lido.
Okay, but what was your source? Where were you? Was this a British?
I asked two British people. So for them, it's Lido. Mm-hmm. So I would say that if someone says Lido, I would just go with it because I get it. So I would say both.
I guess you and I as Canadians, maybe we kind of have to.
Yeah, because I mean, we're used to words being pronounced funny. Like I didn't know the words ginch and gaunch.
Okay, but how often do we say ginch and gaunch?
We don't say it, but I mean, we know that it's men and ladies' underwear, right?
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, if someone says it, you're not going to be like, what are you talking about? We just know that what they're saying. So I think, especially being Canadian, I'm good with both, and I would accept both if someone was saying it. But I know I feel like I'm repeating myself, but really, if you wonder, do it. Seriously, go do it. You will have the best time. And you don't need to know anybody. You're going to have fun. If you know, like everybody's really warm and welcoming, and especially if you have a t-shirt that says first time cruiser, everyone's going to be super nice to you.
Did you have a t-shirt that said first time
cruiser? I did have a t-shirt. Sandra actually made me a t-shirt that said Margaret's first cruise.
No. I love that idea. Idea.
So everyone was really nice. There's no bad experiences. And the only other thing I would do personally is the next time I do some kind of event, I'm going to try to set up a meet and greet outside the guys' meet and greet so I can meet everyone as they're going into the meet and greet.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Because I had a poster that I was hoping that people would sign, but I was like, people are tired, right? So even walking down the hall, it's too much at the end of the night. So that's what I would do, set up a place, put my poster up, have markers, and just meet and greet people as they're going in for pictures.
I love that idea. And I think, yes, at least one other person in here likes that idea as well. You should definitely, yes, another person is, yes. More people are in agreement that you should definitely do that. So I think you've just committed to doing it. So
you know what I mean? It's because it really does mean something to me that I get to meet these people and talk to people, and over time, I mean, I'll pick somebody and send them a message and have a little conversation with them, because I want to have these conversations to get to know people, because you guys are a huge family and it's not a community. You guys are family to one another. Mm-hmm. So, and I've been lucky to be adopted into this. And how else are you supposed to know your family except talking to them?
I agree. And, it was so thoughtful of you to invite me this week and for us to get together.
I was really happy to.
I was just and, you were asking questions about me and stuff outside of New Kids, which I really appreciate. I could really, really tell that you're an incredibly warm person and genuine, and it's really important for you to get to know people, right?
It really is, because I mean, we're all more than just the New Kids community. That's the thing that's pulling us together and gluing us together. But we have all these different facets, and I want to get to know everybody, and I want to know all those facets.
Listen, you're going to be busy on the next cruise. Aside from looking out for Joe in his underwear and hanging out at the coffee bar looking for John, and you know, conducting all your meet and greets and having all of these great, I know you're going to have so many more great conversations with so many more blockheads.
I'm really looking
have to
forward
come
to
on the
it.
next cruise. You better be there, and you are going to be very busy. You're going to miss the island one day for sure. You're going to be.
No, you know what? I mean, actually, I was joking with people when I went to Boston. I was like, you know, maybe I'll set up a meet and greet at Dunkin' Donuts across the street
Yeah.
and just like have donuts and have people come and say hey to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
but no, but in all seriousness, I just have so much gratitude for everyone that has made time for me, made time for my sister through this whole thing. I really am, and I don't always feel like I have many things to be grateful for.
Yeah.
But I can say sincerely that I am really grateful for all of you that have taken a minute, taken 5 minutes, sent me pictures, told me a story, all of it. I'm really, really grateful for it.
Well, I honestly, I can't think of a better way to close out our live than with that sentiment. And thank you so much, Margaret and
A
Cedric and
pleasure.
Jules, for joining me tonight in our PCD or PCG
Slash
group.
PCD.
Yes, / PCG group therapy session. I hope we can do it again. Please, if you aren't already following Margaret, please follow her. And of course, follow Cedric and Jules. Please follow me. And I will keep you posted on if we do another one of these. You know I want to, right? This is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. And thank you so much to everyone in the chat for all of your conversations and your questions and your comments. And thanks to Donnie for joining us too. I know you're a busy dude. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye. Take
Bye,
care. See
everybody.
you. Bye.